Now that the beta is gone and today the Battlefield 2042 Hazard Zone trailer out, information for Hazard Zone has been released and I am excited to bring this information to you. During the trailer, we do get to see the premise of how Hazard Zone works, but we do get a good idea of what Hazard Zone is, which is very similar to games like Hunt Showdown and also some elements from Escape from Tarkov. Hazard Zone does have a clear objective, unlike Escape from Tarkov, but more like Hunt Showdown, with hunting bosses and extracting with their bounties. In Hazard mode, the objective is to collect data drives and extract with those that have fallen from satellites. But overall, with how Hazard Zone works is, to be honest, a little different than probably what a lot of us were thinking that it was going to be. Yes, it does have elements from Escape from Tarkov and also Hunt Showdown, but there is more risk involved with playing a match. This is also where Hazard Zone kinda blends into a little battle royale element, because per match there can only be up to 2 squads that can extract. Essentially how Hazard Zone works is before each match there is a briefing, you could say, that shows hotspots on the map where most AI presence is and also where most of the already spawned data drives are. After the briefing, you spawn into a predetermined location and you travel throughout the map in order to find the data drives and get out with them. At a predetermined time in a match, there is the extraction that is called in, not by the players, but will spawn at a predetermined location. This is where things get a little tricky because it becomes a fight essentially to whoever can extract on the extract helicopter first to get out. Now, this does not mean that's the end of the match necessarily, because there is a second and also final extraction that happens later in the match, and according to the information, 10 to 12 minutes later. And if you are not out on either of these extractions, then you lose your character and every bit of progression that you made during the match, similar to Escape from Tarkov or Hunt Showdown. All while this is going on, there is also a storm that is brewing as well that in a way can act similar to the gas or electricity from battle royale games that slowly close in as time goes on in a game. Normally how stuff like this happens on Escape from Tarkov or Hunt Showdown is that there is a timer in each match that counts down to the amount of time allotted in each raid. And once that time runs out and you don't extract, you lose your character and also everything on it. So at least with Hazard Zone, there is something that will kill you at the end if you do not extract. The other thing with Hazard Zone is that the specialists do play a heavy role within Hazard Zone itself, which does seem to have determined on why the specialists were created essentially in the first place. As 2 players cannot have the same specialist in each raid that you go on Hazard Zone. Each person has to pick a different specialist to play while playing Hazard Zone, somewhat similar to Rainbow Six Siege. Within the Hazard Zone mode, when you are choosing your loadout, or buying your loadout rather, there are 15 tactical upgrades for Hazard Zone for your specialists. And honestly, these kind of work similar to like the squad upgrades from Battlefield 3 and also Battlefield 4. Some are specific to Hazard Zone and some basically are what we used to have in old games. Such, for instance, an extra throwable gadget or grenade, or being able to swap between weapons faster. One of the tactical upgrades allows you to gain 50% more dark market credits, which is the currency within Hazard Zone, for killing AI combatants. Another element within Hazard Zone are uplinks. Uplinks are kind of the mobile or stationary stores, kind of like in Call of Duty Warzone. There are 3 different types of uplinks. There's a support uplink, vehicle uplink, and also redeploy uplink. The support uplink allows you to call in the ranger dog. The vehicle uplink does exactly what you can imagine it would do, and the redeploy uplink will allow you to redeploy one of your dead squad members. When it comes to weapon loadouts in Hazard Zone, you are able to purchase basically any weapon that is available within Battlefield 2042. and also customize it with however you want to. Now, seeing as how there is a currency in the game, this does not mean that when you start, you will have absolutely nothing at your disposal. As a new player or someone that may be unfortunately broke, you do have access to a free assault rifle that has no attachments and also a few free tactical upgrades as well. This allows you to get a head start or at least be able to compete against other players when you are playing Hazard Zone. Now, for how long a match or raid in Hazard Zone actually lasts is something we don't necessarily know, but we can, for the most part, kind of figure this out on our own. And the information that is available right now, it does state that shortly after a game starts, that the first extraction does become available, and that shortly after the first extraction has been taken by a squad, the storm that is brewing starts to take full effect, and about 10 to 15 minutes after the first extraction is when the second and also final extraction comes in for a squad to take. So with that information, we are basically able to take control of how long a game does last, and also how the storm does brew or gets stronger. But this also does mean that as soon as the game starts, and if you acquire one data drive, you can immediately extract and get out. Although this might not be something you want to do, as only acquiring one or a couple of data drives will only give you a small amount of money. Now, within Hazard Zone, the player cap for PC and also next-gen consoles is capped at 32 players per game, whereas on older consoles, it is capped at 24 players per match. And the maps that are played on are the normal multiplayer maps that we get to play on in the base game. So as you can imagine, for just 32 players roaming around on a map as huge as what we have already seen within 2042, everyone will be spaced out, but of course there will be vehicles to close those gaps, and everybody will be moving towards the same objectives and also the same extraction, bringing players closer together in order to fight each other. And for me, being a long-time Escape from Tarkov and also Hunt Showdown fan, I'm excited for this mode. I'm already excited for Battlefield 2042 as it is, along with Portal, but for Hazard Zone, I feel that it's going to be a special place for me specifically, and also other survival shooter enthusiasts as well, just for the fact that Battlefield now has something that can accommodate those types of players. I do hope that Hazard Zone will be a well-populated game mode within 2042 and will last and not just be some sort of gimmicky thing like we've seen with Firestorm. When it comes to Hazard Zone, at least, it's something that is actually worth playing as opposed to a basic battle royale. But if you do want to see some of the negative stuff that I feel exists within Battlefield 2042, although that might be changing soon, then click on the video on screen right now